and welcome back everyone to my channel. I am sorry I'm always away. There's always something that's happening, but I won't make excuses. You guys know the deal with me. So I'm just gonna go ahead and show you guys how I continuously keep up with Courtney. Decided to go ahead and stick with that name. I couldn't really figure out anything else. So as you can see, this is my inbox, and I usually start off looking at my inbox because it helps me to kind of readjust my thinking and remember what's most important for me to accomplish within a certain period of time. And I don't really want to focus on too much else. A lot of the times I get distracted sometimes by the things that I keep in my planner. But I did create a phone call list that I thought was very important to making sure that I got a lot of my next actions done, as well as a lot of my projects. So that helps me quite a bit, even though I do keep most of my phone correspondence in Gem, which is my wallet planner, which I'm going to do a video on that as well. So what I'm going to try to do is make my focuses by book or by planner or by notebook that I focus on. So as you can see here, I'm just focusing on trying to keep my updates for my trackers. I forgot what today was because I really haven't been able to keep up with the days, especially through this past week. As you saw in the beginning of the video, I took a video of the snow that was falling here in Texas, and that winter storm was no joke. So, I mean, anybody who does live in Texas knows what I mean. There were certain parts of Texas that I realized that did not have to see any sort of power outages. For instance, my sister lives in Allen, Texas, and she didn't see any sort of difficulty this week, except for, driving in the snow. So I'm thankful my kids were over there while I was kind of trying to take a break. But, then all of this happened, and so they were over there, and I was here at home, and the power went out. We only had power for about an hour in the morning around 6, and then an hour around 11 to 12, and then another hour or so in the evening. I guess they figured we needed time to cook if we were staying at home. So I'm thankful for that at least. And it really helped me to kind of catch back up with my thoughts and my life and, kind of my spiritual attention. So here I'm just kind of filling in all of my trackers. This one is my mood tracker. You guys have seen this. So I was kind of meh most of the week that, all of this snow happened. So that's why it's green. But as we get a little further on, I will continue to kind of give you guys details. But most of this you guys have already seen. Here is just a caddy that I got from Home Depot because I saw some at, I think it was, where was that? That was Hobby Lobby, where they did have some caddies, but it wasn't exactly what I needed to suit my needs. And plus they were not heavy duty. They were mainly material. And I wanted something that was heavy duty that could really, I could really shove stuff in because I have a lot of planner stuff that I wanted. I wish it was a little bit bigger, but I'm actually quite happy with the size that it came in. And I think it was only $25, at the most 30. So, and I'm kind of a cheapskate, so this was helpful for me. But as you can see, here's my spiritual focuses, my spiritual trackers. This is one that I decided I wanted to make specifically for prayer, not for, prayer and ministry and Bible study and, personal study and all that, because I felt like it was a bit too much. So from now on, it's going to be focused on purple. As long as the box is purple, I know that I've done what I need to do. As long as there's no X, that's kind of the biggest thing. That means I didn't pray that day. So the next one is ministry and study. That one I can do regardless. I can, focus on whether or not I did my ministry work or whether or not I, did my own personal study. So as long as there's something colored in the box, that's kind of my biggest point to make here. And this is my random act of kindness tracker. I like to know that I'm doing things for other people. I haven't been doing a lot for others lately, but that's because there's been a lot going on just in general. Everybody's going through stuff, so I think anybody can understand that, especially for a single mom with 3 kids. It's hard to, put myself out there for other people without it, kind of affecting how things go for me and my family, or me and my kids. So here is just my depression tracker. You guys know, I don't know if you guys know, but I've mentioned it before, where I do suffer from depression and anxiety. From the outside looking in, like for instance, everybody at my congregation would never be able to really tell that, but most of the time I keep that stuff bottled up, and I make it a point to do that because I don't want to discourage anybody. I want everybody to be encouraged. So here is just me kind of keeping track of, how volatile I feel, and, whether or not I need to just stay at home and kind of regroup, or whether or not, I'm in a mood to be out and be social and, do all kinds of stuff. So this is a tracker from my vacation from my kids. This is how much time I get away from my children, to be perfectly honest. And I do need those mental breaks from my kids, because anyone who's not a mom doesn't understand how time consuming and just mentally draining being a mom can be, and just kind of focused on kids. You tend to forget about yourself, and you tend to forget about everything else over a short period of time of doing that. So I feel that it's necessary for me to kind of track this and be like, oh my goodness, I haven't had it's been a month since I've been able to think about anything but the kids. I need a mental break. And I found that it helps me so much more. And I love these little perfume bottles. I think I got those. Yeah, those came from Daiso. They're so cute. They're little greeting cards, but I was like, this is perfect for just a, kind of a die cut situation. And here we have my sleeping tracker. I like to keep track of my sleep because there's a lot of times that I do just kind of stay up past 12. And I know I shouldn't do that, especially as a mom, a single mom at that. I need my time to sleep so that I can focus. But sometimes I'm like, I didn't have enough me time today, so I need to just kind of take some extra time out of my sleep, which it's not really healthy to do that most of the time, but sometimes I kind of have to give and take from certain areas in my life to, I guess, keep my mental happiness up there. So the next part is my morning routine, which just because there's an X there doesn't mean I didn't do anything. Like most of the time it's just brushing my teeth and washing my face. If I didn't do anything, this is kind of the extra stuff, like making sure I put on my Mary Kay and, actually do something to my hair and, kind of the extra stuff that I really, really want to do, because, the morning routine is necessary to, kind of make this day go by smoothly for me. And if I've done my entire morning routine, I notice that it does go by a lot better and a lot smoother. Now, one that I'm having a lot of trouble with always is my evening routine, because oftentimes it's just get the kids to bed and get some me time. That's kind of all I really focus on when it comes to actually just doing my evening routine in a lot of cases, but I want to do more. I want to make sure the kids have their water bottles refilled and, just all these other little things that I'll go over later. I think I've shown you guys my evening routine before, and I did just recently put it back in my planner, so I'll show you guys that in a minute. But here's my shower tracker. I find that a lot lately, even lately, since this year started, we haven't been able to go anywhere and do anything. So showering every single day just dries out my skin and makes me break out. So I don't shower every day. And then, of course, there's the menstrual tracker. You guys know what that consists of. I don't have to explain. And if you don't, you need to ask your mama. So, yeah, I've noticed there's quite a pattern when it comes to my menstrual, so I thought that was kind of interesting, to just be able to see that. Plus, it helps me to kind of gauge when I need to kind of enter into a slight hiatus so my anxiety, depression, and menstrual cycle don't clash into an abominable week for somebody. So yeah, basically it just helps me to say, oh, I'm going to be starting my menstrual next week, so I don't want to do anything that's going to send me into a depressed episode or some sort of anxiety attack, and just makes it a really rotten week. So I think that's helpful for pretty much anybody who has to deal with depression and, of course, menstrual cycles. Now, my health has been relatively well, but I did notice that my water has never really been what it should be, the 8 glasses a day. In most cases, if you notice from my tracker, I usually get about 4 cups of water in a day, and I think that's probably where I need to be. I mean, that's kind of what I need to live, because I retain quite a bit of water. Now, you guys know I've been struggling with this for a long time. Just trying to keep a specific exercise routine has been a nightmare my entire life. I've never had a consistent exercise routine, and I think that it's very important as I get older that I need to do this, so I'm trying to work on it. And of course, diet has been a struggle as well, but you guys know I've been doing a lot better. I haven't gained any of the weight that I took off back, so I think that's something to kind of be proud of. And of course, there's just everything's been consistent bowel-wise because I haven't been on my diet strictly as I had been before. It was just an issue with my dieting, which I'm looking into seeing if there's another diet that will be just as successful that might help. Of course, ketogenics sounds like a great idea for me, but I'm really not good when it comes to actually having some sort of diet that requires multiple different kinds of things that I can eat. I'm a very restrictive person. If there's a very few things that I need to worry about, then I can do it. But if there's a whole bunch of this, that, and the other that I have to be able to be like, okay, I can have this with that, but not that, it's too much for me. My migraines haven't been around since I have been drinking water pretty consistently, and of course I'm not on my diet anymore, so it's not an absolute necessity that I'm drinking constantly, because a lot of the things I was eating on my diet were not water soluble. A lot of the things I was eating didn't have much water in them, basically. So, like fruits and, certain vegetables and stuff. I was eating vegetables, but not just like regular fruits and, things that had a lot of water in it. My money tracker was not great this past week, so that's why I kind of just skimmed through it. But I didn't have don't spend week recently because I had to buy a lot of stuff over because the refrigerator was on and off, and that was just a nightmare. So we're here at my first son, and of course I had to get rid of the place where I was writing out how they were doing every single day, because I had to release myself from that because it made me not want to go in my planner anymore. And I realized after I got rid of that, I felt so much better about getting into Courtney, and that's the last thing I want to do, is to put something on myself that I know that I'm not going to be able to can devote myself to and continue. So his health has been relatively good, actually, though while he was at my sister's house, he did get sick, but it was just the common cold, thankfully. It wasn't COVID or anything like that, because my nephew has been going to regular school, and even though, it sounded bad to me because I can stay home with my sons and daughter. My sister can't because she has to work. So, I'm pretty sure that's where he got it from. But everything else is fine. He's been doing fine. He's gotten better since I was there, and so has my son Miles. So I'm thankful for that. And I'm thankful it was not COVID, because we've already been through that fiasco, and the last thing we need is to go through that again with some other strand. I was pretty thankful too that my son Ryan did not get sick, and neither did my daughter. So all in all, I'd have to say my sister handled it very well. She said they kind of tried to start having sniffles, but she gave them medicine immediately, and they recovered very quickly. So I'm thankful. Don't you just hate it when you rip the page right from the rings? I really love these hole protectors from Daiso. They work so well, and they're clear. They're hassle to mess with sometimes, but they really, really do work very good. And I only need to use one most of the time, which is actually really cool. Now this is what I wanted to show you. My routines. I told you I just put them back in my planner, which was really necessary. And I say they're necessary because it really helps me to pick and choose the different things that I know I need to do throughout the weeks, months, years, days, and quarters. It was helpful before, so I know that it's going to be helpful now too, because there's a lot of things that I have set time and point in the week or day that I know I need to get something done. So I can put it on my weeklies or my dailies in my new bullet journal, as I'll show you later. Now this is my morning routine and my evening routine. I know I've shown you this before. And I just have this piece of vellum in the middle so that I can look at one without getting confused by the other. And then I also have my cleaning list that I really appreciate having too, because there's a lot of things that I put on this list that I could not think of later on, that I'm so glad I put it. Why is this here? Oh yeah, I forgot I put that in there because it was in a group of stuff that I wanted to take from a previous set of planner pages, and I forgot to take that out. But I love this vellum. I actually laminated some more glitter for a new planner that I had to create. And this came from Hobby Lobby, this vellum. It was really, really nice, and I really thought it was going to brighten up my planner a little bit, especially as we get closer and closer to spring. Now these pages are part of my brain sifter section. I made them and I just basically copied them, and unfortunately when I was copying them I ended up doing it, the other half of it, upside down. As you can see, these stickers are upside down, so I really do like it though. I mean, I figured why waste the paper, so yeah, that's a part of my brain sifter section. And I've added various little items to decorate my planner, but everything's mainly the same. Now this came also from Hobby Lobby, this vellum. I loved the wood vellum. I thought it was great, and I was like, how can I add this to my planner? And so in between these 2 pages, I do plan on putting something. I'm just not sure what. So I'm going to figure that out later. But I thought that was a great addition to my planner. So let me know what you think in the comments below, what I should add to this little section. I was thinking pictures, but I was like, I don't know. So I did want to make sure that I did go back and fill in everything that I did miss from this past week, because I do like to make sure that everything's filled in. So if I do need to know what happened on these days, I can still be like, oh, well, I missed an entire week, which is why I couldn't do this because of the snow. And that's something I actually did want to address, is I do plan on opening my store. However, I was set back a little bit. I had to push it back because of the snow. I didn't have any electricity, so I did not have access to my computer or my printer and various other things that I needed in order to make a few certain products that I was going to display in the shop. So here in a little while, you're going to see it go on off of vacation mode to closed mode, so that I can edit it and do a whole bunch of stuff. But as you can see here, I just have the weeks that I'm trying to still catch up on. And then on top of that, here's this week, well, this past week that's been snowy. I didn't finish there because that's about the time where I was like, you know what, it's too cold to be writing. And, I just kind of hid under my blanket for a period of time. So here's this new week starting for Monday. And I created this weekly to-do list, things that I needed to do so that I could see every week that's coming up what I need to put here so that I can, transition smoothly into the next week in my planner, that is, not, just in. You guys are all in my prayers, and I hope that everything goes well with you for the next few days and weeks that come. Talk to you later. Bye.
So for my to-dos and such, these are the main things that I have scheduled for the week. So that's it, you guys. I just wanted to chime in for that little bit, but I hope you guys have a great week. Bye.